Dear children, today we are going to talk about a lesson, crop production and management. Do you know children, a same kind of a plant grown in a large scale is called a crop. Crops we normally grow to get some grains. We are dependent on several crops like vegetable crops, grains and fruits. We grow lots of plants for various crops. We grow these plants for our daily needs. We eat grains which are produced from crops. Similarly, we have Kharif crop and Rabi crop. Now, why these crops are named? Because every crop grows in a specific climatic conditions. The humidity, the environment, the temperature and the rainfall are all important for growing a crop. Now, not only these things, for growing a crop, there are various other conditions that are required. First of all, for growing a crop, we have to have tilling of the soil or loosening of the soil. After once you loosen the soil, then we will give water, irrigation, and then we give the sowing of the seeds. Once saplings will come, then we add manure and compost and then fertilizers to grow a better crop. Once the crop grows nicely, gives lot of yield and grains, and then the grains are harvested and stored in a container in a granary, and then we will utilize it for a later future. Thus, the crop production and the management of grains in nutshell can be said like this. These are the steps that we have to follow. Now, regarding each of these steps, probably some animation and some students or who are here, they will be asked certain questions, and then this will be like an interactive lesson, and you will hear the videos also. I will show in between how the soil is tilled and how the sowing of the seeds is taking place, how the harvesting is taking place, how winnowing is taking place, how the tractor is tilling the soil, how the seed sorter is putting the seeds into the soil, and how the seeds are stored in this granary. All these things are very important to us, because ultimately the grains are our sustenance. We are living on grains. We eat rice, rice is a grain. We eat wheat, wheat is also a grain. So, all these grains are very, very important to us. Thus, we are today as a lesson, we are reading about all these aspects related to the grain production and crop production and management. Children, today we are going to study about crop production and management. Do you know what is a crop?
Sir, a plant grown in large scale is called as crop.
Very good. So, a crop that is grown in a large scale of the same kind is called as a crop. Take for example, some crops we grow for vegetables, some for fruits, some for grains. Now, what are the common grains that we eat for food? Surabhi?
Rice is eaten as a grain.
Very good. Rice is eaten as a grain. We eat similarly various other grains. They are like wheat is a grain. We make chapati out of wheat. Similarly, we also eat other crops like pulses. Children, do you know what is a pulse? Or dal is made up of?
Sir, yellow pulse.
Yellow pulse, correct. Yellow gram is a pulse. Yellow gram is a pulse. Green gram, do you know green gram?
Yes sir, it's also a pulse.
Very good. Yellow gram is a pulse, green gram is a pulse, rajma is a pulse. Similarly, we have got lot of pulses, and all pulses are proteinaceous in nature. There is a lot of protein content in the pulses. So, we should eat pulses regularly. Do you eat dal?
Yes, sir.
Oh, very good. So, children, we have got so many crops that are grown in different climatic conditions. The climatic condition means the atmosphere, the temperature, the humidity, all these factors together are called as the atmosphere or climatic condition. Now, today we are having lot of rain here. In a rainy season, we get more water, plenty of water. Will you have problem for water in rainy season? No,
No,
we
sir.
don't have any problem for water in rainy season. So, in rainy season, we don't have any problem to grow any crop. So, we have plenty of water. But the same crop would have to be grown in a summer day or in a hot summer. Do we have any problem?
Yes, sir.
What problem you will have?
So shortage of water.
Very good. So, irrigation is a problem in summer. For growing any crop, we need more water. So, irrigation, we have to do artificially transport the water from one place to the other. This is what is called irrigation. We have to have canals, we should have pipes. Now, there are different types of irrigation mechanisms. One is called as drip irrigation. I will show you a video where drip irrigation is taking place. Similarly, I will also show you a sprinkler. These days in gardens, children, you might be seeing one pipe is getting moved on and then the water is sprinkled all over the garden. That is called sprinklers. We have sprinklers, we have drip irrigation, we have channels, we have canals, we have rivers, we have various mechanisms to irrigate our crops. Is it clear to you children that the irrigation is a very important process in growing up of a crop? So, similarly, after once you irrigate, when you sow the seed, when the plantlet comes, children, we have done an experiment. Do you remember in the laboratory you have sown the seed, then after few days, 4 days and 8 days, it has becoming a small sapling. That sapling you have to put it in the soil, then that becomes a big plant and then it will yield fruits, then it will yield grains, then after once it yields grains, you cut them, you harvest them and then store them. Okay. Today we have got, have you seen today anybody who has gone to the market, what are the vegetables that are available in the market?
So tomato,
Very
brinjal,
good.
etc.
Tomato, he has seen tomato. What about you?
Pineapple, sugarcane, chilies,
Oh, very good. Surabhi?
so cucumber, potatoes.
Very good.
Sir, green peas.
Very good. Green peas, very good. So, you all have seen different crops that are being grown and sold in the market. Now, some are vegetables, some are fruits, some are grains, some are pulses. You have said so many things that you have said you have seen in the market. Now, all these are crops. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
They are all
sir.
crops, they are coming from plants. Now, henceforth for growing a crop, we have to protect the crop also. Is it not?
Yes, sir.
So, when you want to protect the plant, what are the things that you have to do? First of all, adding manure. Why should we add manure to the plants?
Sir, so that the plant will be healthy like us. We eat food for becoming healthy.
Very good. Now, he told to add manure is a very important process because the plant becomes healthy, and once it becomes healthy, it will give good fruits, good yield. Then you will get lot of grains, lot of fruits, that is very beneficial to us. So, henceforth we should add manure. And then fertilizer also. These days we are having lot of fertilizers, chemical fertilizers. Do you think chemical fertilizers are very good to use?
No, sir.
No.
Because some chemicals may have some bad things also in that.
So, it may harm us. So, henceforth we should grow most of the time organic farming, organic crops. That is why these days organic crops are very costly. If you have a normal brinjal and organically grown brinjal, both of them, if it is sold in the market, the organically grown brinjal will be very costly, because
Yes, sir.
it is grown without any fertilizers, no chemicals, no side effects. Henceforth it is very good for you to consume and you will become healthy. There will not be any side effects of the chemicals.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, henceforth we are growing organically, we have to add manure, we have to add fertilizer if necessary, and then once these two things are being done, how do you ensure whether the seed which you have put in the soil is a healthy seed or a weak seed or an unfertilized seed? How do you assure? Do you have any idea about this? Children, today I want to tell you a story how to do the seed testing. Whether the seed is good or bad, how do you test in a laboratory? So, we take a glass of water and take a few seeds and pour them in the water. The seeds which are sunk into the bottom heavier, they are the good seeds, and the seeds which are floating on the surface of the water, they are the bad seeds. So, this is a way how do we test the seeds, and good seeds we collect and sow them in the ground and in the soil, then they will become good plants. Once you have got a good plant, you will have better crop, better yield. So, thus we have to select a good seed. This is a small experiment we do in laboratory, we can do it at our home also. You can test this thing in your home even. Similarly, this boy also did an experiment in his home. Have
Yes,
you done
sir.
an experiment at your home?
Yes, sir.
What is that you have done?
So, some pulses.
Okay. What you have done?
So, horse gram.
Horse gram. You have taken horse gram and then
Yes,
what
sir.
you did?
So, I was just want to soak it for some time. So, I just put in a bowl. Then I
good.
got to know this experiment.
Then what you have seen, what you have observed?
So, in that all the seeds were sinking down, and then I had seen a video before. In that I got to know that those were good seeds.
Oh, good, very good. You have seen a video also about this thing. This experiment was seen in a YouTube at somewhere. Very good,
Sir.
very good.
Sir,
Ah,
sir, for a better plant,
Yeah.
we can also soak tight seeds.
very good. Tight seed. What do you mean by tight seed?
So some seeds will be tight. To lose them, we can soak it in water for 1 day
Yeah.
and then we can plant it.
Yeah. So, this is also an experiment which we all did it. Do you remember few days back we did it in botany lab. We have taken a petri dish and then taken little cotton and then pour little water and then put a seed. The tight seed has become loosened after some time and it has given a plantlet. This is what we have to do it. Dear children, today I am going to give an activity to you. There are some boxes and in the boxes some activities are there. Now, you have to put them in order and tell me how the crop after completion is sent to the factory. Who will answer now?
So, me. So, number 1 is ploughing the field.
Very good.
Number 2 is preparation of soil.
Very good. After that,
Number 3 is sowing.
very good. Number 4 is
So number 4 is irrigation.
number 5.
So, manuring.
Okay. Number 6.
Harvesting.
Number 7.
So number 7 is sending crop to sugar factory.
Very good. Sending the crop to the sugar factory is the last part. We start preparing the soil and then sowing the seeds, then putting the manure, irrigation, harvesting and sending the crop to the factory. These are all the sequences that in this activity we have done. Dear children, today what we have learned in nutshell, in a summary, I will conclude and tell you that crops are essential to us and we grow crops to get grains, and once the grains are grown, it requires a lot of irrigation, manuring, fertilizers and then after that storage. Now, all these aspects, at any one aspect if you are not careful, there is a chance that we will not be getting grains. When there are no grains, we will not have food. So, henceforth we should take care of these grains and about these crops. Now, the entire lesson is based on how we grow a crop and what is the significance of growing a crop, how we grow crops, and what are the precautions that we have to take while growing a crop. Starting from sowing the seed into the soil till the plant becomes big and yields grains, all aspects are very important. Now, today's lesson we have a summary of all these things related to it, because we have grains of Kharif crop and Rabi crop. Kharif is the crop which grows only in the rainy season. When rain is more, there is no problem for water, but what is more important is, in such a rainy season, what are the crops that grow very amply? That means some crops require more water. So, only during Kharif such crops can be grown, whereas Rabi crop, it grows during the winter season, where we have some light and we have little water also, no problem, but that not much of water will be there. So, the climatic conditions will be very chill. So, during that kind of climatic conditions, so we have some crops exclusively grown in winter, and such crops are called as Rabi crops. Rabi and Kharif are dependent upon the season, and these are called seasonal crops. Now, rainy season we get lot of crops like rice. Rice requires lot of water. Similarly, wheat, it requires less water but more sunlight, and winter is a right season.
I want to know where and how we use these tools.
I think these tools are used for farming by uncle.
Does our uncle produce food for all the people in the village?
No, like our uncle, there are many farmers who do farming and produce food on a large scale.
Why paddy cannot be grown in winter season?
Paddy requires a lot of water, therefore it is grown only in rainy season.
Why the plants are kept in small pots?
Seeds of a few plants such as paddy are first grown in a nursery. When they grow into seedlings, they are transplanted to the field manually. Some forest plants and flowering plants are also grown in the nursery.
Summary of the lesson. There are certain key words in this lesson like agricultural practice, animal husbandry, crop, fertilizer, granaries, harvesting, irrigation, kharif, manure, ploughing, rabi, seeds, silo, sowing, storage, thrashing, weeds, weedicide, winnowing. These are all the words. Actually, if you know the meaning of these words, you will know the entire lesson and the process more accurately and clearly. Now, today what we have learned can be summarized in this fashion. In order to provide food to our growing population, we need to adapt certain agricultural practices. Same kind of plants cultivated at a place constitute a crop. In India, crops can be broadly categorized into two types based on a season, Rabi and Kharif crops. It is necessary to prepare soil by tilling and leveling. Ploughs and levelers are used for this purpose. Sowing of seeds at appropriate depth and distance gives good yield. Good variety of seeds are sown after selection of a healthy seed. By sowing is done by seed drills, and soil needs replenishment and enrichment through the use of an organic manure and fertilizer. Use of chemical fertilizers has increased tremendously with the introduction of new crop varieties. Supply of water to crops at appropriate intervals is called as irrigation. Weeding involves removal of unwanted and uncultivated plants called weeds. Harvesting is cutting of a mature crop manually or by machines is called as harvesting. Separation of grains from chaff is called as thrashing. Proper storage of grains is necessary to protect them from pests and microorganisms. Food is also obtained from animals for which animals are reared. This is called as animal husbandry. You will learn it in the next lesson. Children, today I am going to explain about what is vermicomposting, an example for field trip and work. Vermicomposting is also a process by which we give the natural manure, the compost. By mulching, there is a technique called mulching. We can take all vegetable waste and convert the vegetable waste into a useful manure. So, now today whatever was given in the textbook, like Himanshu and his friends were very anxious and curious to go to Tikri village. They went to Sri Jaivan Patel's farmhouse. They had taken bags to collect some seeds and other things. Himanshu, sir, namaskar, I am Himanshu. Here are my friends Mohan and David and Sabiha. We want some information about crops. Please guide us. Then Sri Patel took them with joy and called him, namaskar, welcome all of you. What are your queries about this? Then Sabiha said, when did you start this work and what are the main crops that you grow? Then Sri Patel said, about 75 years ago I started this farm. My grandfather started this work. The main crop that we grow are wheat, gram, soya bean and mung. David, sir, can you tell us the difference between traditional and modern agricultural practices? Then Patel answered, earlier we used traditional tools like sickle, bullock plough, trowel, etc. and depended on rainwater for irrigation, but now we use modern methods of irrigation. We use drip irrigation, we also use sprinklers, we use implements like tractor, cultivators, seed drill and harvester. I think children, you have seen all these instruments in work in the field. A video is been shown to you earlier. We got good quality of seeds and we carry out soil, and children, I also has explained to you how to test a better seed in a given environment. You know, it is very simple. Take a glass and pour little water in it and put some seeds in it. When you put seeds, the heavier seeds will go down and the lighter seeds will come. The seeds which are lighter means that they are not good. The heavier seeds which are sink into the bottom, they are the good seeds. This is how it has been done, seed testing. Once the seeds are good, we have to always take good seeds to put them, and then once the good seed is taken to plant, you will get a good plant. Seed drill is nowadays employed to sowing, seed drills. We get good quality of seeds, we carry out the soil testing and also use manure and fertilizer. Nowadays even this is being done in various places, because this facility is little related to the laboratory. Soil testing and pH of the soil also can be done. If the soil is acidic or alkaline also matters for the plant to grow. So, henceforth seed testing and then soil testing is essential for growing a crop. New information about the agriculture is obtained through radio, TV and other sources. As a result, we are able to get good crop on a large scale. This year we got 9 to 11 quintals of gram crop and per acre and 20 to 25 quintals of wheat per acre. In my opinion, awareness of new technology is important for better crop yield. Mohan says, Sabiha, come here, and some earthworms I am seeing. Are they helpful to the farmers? Yes, this is what precisely how earthworm is helpful in converting the waste into a useful manure is all about the vermicomposting or permaculture. The earthworms turns the soil and loosen it for a proper aeration, so they help the farmer. Patel says that. David, can we have some seeds of the crop you grow here? Yes, they put some seeds, fertilizer and soil sample in their bags and they collect them. Himanshu, sir, we are very thankful to you for making this visit a very pleasant one and a very informative one, for all providing the useful information for our learning. So, in conclusion, I will say this lesson, crop production and management, is very, very essential to us. Children, thank you very much for hearing me patiently. Stay safe and stay at home.